Hello, boys and girls. Good morning. How are you? I know you are all doing well wherever you are. It's been a long time since I came online. So this morning we are going to do probability grade 11 revision, and those who are in grade 11 can also learn it from there. Today we'll be looking at what we call mutually exclusive event, types of events. Mutually exclusive event, we will also look at independent event, we will also look at complementary event, and of course exhaustive event. These are the events that they can ask you a question on. So we will start with this question, which I took from a past question paper. They said given probability of A is equals to 0,2, probability of B is equals to 0,5, probability of A union B, which means probability of A or B, is equals to 0,6. And the question they are asking you here is that, are the events A and B mutually exclusive event? Motivate your answer. And then B says, are the events A and B independent event? Motivate your answer. Boys and girls, when such a question is given to you and you are going to talk about mutually exclusive event, you ask yourself, what is the meaning of mutually exclusive? Mutually exclusive. It's just like having two people who stay in the same house and they don't talk to each other. That becomes mutually exclusive, okay? So in any case, when a question like that is given to you, you can have it in this order. Mutually exclusive event can simply be like having mutually exclusive event can simply be like having something like this. One staying this way, the other one staying this way. So A and B here can be termed as mutually exclusive. But in this question, we need to justify why they are mutually exclusive or not with a calculation. So now here we were given the probability of A is 0,2. So our probability of A is equals to 0,2. Probability of B is equals to 0,5. Probability of A or B is equals to 0,6. And the question is asking, are the events mutually exclusive? You cannot just look at this and say they are mutually exclusive unless you show some motivation by calculating. So here we will now use the probability rule, which of course is on the formula page attached to the question paper where you have your formulas. Probability of A or B is equals to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A and B. Now, boys and girls, listen carefully. When the events are mutually exclusive, then this part of the equation here should be equals to 0. If the events are mutually exclusive, then probability of A and B must always be equals to 0. So when you calculate and it is not equals to 0, then it means the events are not mutually exclusive. So let's look at what is happening. Based on the information they gave us, probability of A or B is 0,6. Probability of A is 0,2. Probability of B is 0,5. So what we don't know is probability of A and B. So let's check. If what we have here gives us 0, then it is mutually exclusive. If it does not, then it is not mutually exclusive. So now here, to solve for probability of A and B, simply say probability of A and B, take it to the left, it becomes positive, is equals to 0,7 minus 0,6, and that will give you 0,1. Now you can see therefore that probability of A and B is equals to 0,1. This tells you that in this case something is in common between the event A and B. They share this 0,1. So therefore the events are not mutually exclusive. If it was mutually exclusive, the answer we were going to get for probability of A and B was going to be 0. Okay, so here one will say, therefore, the events A and B are not mutually exclusive. They are not what? Mutually exclusive. The reason is that probability of A and B is not equals to 0. Because here we got probability of A and B to be equals to 0, 1. And the last time I checked, 0, 1 is not the same as 0. So therefore the events are not mutually exclusive. Now let's look at question number B. Are the events A and B independent? So I hope you have understood what is mutually exclusive event. Now we are going to look at independent event. Independent event. Now the question says, are the events independent? Now if events are independent, it means the outcome of one has no effect on the other one. Independent event. Now when we talk about independent event, we look at the product rule. The product rule. Let us not forget the product rule. It says probability of A times probability of B must be equal to probability of A and B. If two events are independent, this is what must be our guideline. If the two events A and B are independent, then when I multiply them, it must give me the answer for probability of A and B, which we calculated, and it gave us 0, 1. So now let's go and check. What was probability of A? Probability of A was 0, 2 multiplied by probability of B, which is 0, 5. And when you multiply 0, 2 by 0, 5, the answer we get is equals to 0, 1. Therefore, one will say the events A and B are independent. So if you multiply and give you any answer other than 0, 1, then you are going to say the events are not independent. I hope you have understood the question. So when we talk about independent event, we use the product rule. We say probability of A times probability of B must be equals to probability of A and B. Already we calculated probability of A and B based on the formula of probability, and we got 0, 1. So when you multiply these two and it gives you 0, 1, it means the events are independent. If it doesn't give you 0, 1, it gives you any number other than 0, 1, it means the events are not independent. So you must take note. So here, since they ask you to choose whether the event is independent or not, now you justify by saying the events A and B are independent events, simply because the probability of A times probability of B is equal to probability of A and B. So that is how we go about that. Now let's take this example again, boys and girls. Let's take this example again and see how best we can deal with the question. Now the question here is saying that probability of A is equals to 0, 25. Probability of B is 0, 5. And probability of A and B is equals to 0, 15. Guys, don't read the note that is written there, because during those days where they were doing probability, it was in paper 3. and now it is attached to paper 1. So we have extracted some of the questions there, which is still relevant, so take note of that. Now here we have this information. They're asking you, are the events A and B independent? So I hope by now you understand what is independent event. So we still going to go by the product rule. If the events are independent, let's see with the product rule and check our solution and see. If the events are independent, let's check with the product rule and see what we have. So the events are independent. Let's check with the product rule and see what we're going to have here. So now if we are going to go by the data on the board here, then we will have 0.25 times 0.5. Multiply and let's see if the answer will give you 0.15. So here it means we will be having, if the question says are the events independent, let's check. We will have 0.25 multiplying by 0.5. And let's check the answer. Does it give you probability of A and B? Our probability of A and B, remember, was given as 0.15. So we quickly go and multiply and see if the answer is true. So now here we can simply see that based on the figures given there, our answer is not true. What we have here is that when you multiply 0.25 by 0.5, the answer gives you 0.125. And therefore one will say, but probability of A and B in the question was 0.15 and not this. Therefore, so one can say, therefore, 0.125 is not the same as 0.15. Are we together? Therefore, the event is not independent event. Not independent. But if this product here was equal to the probability of A and B, then you could say that the events are independent events. So it's a very simple question. When they ask you, are the events independent events? You have to justify by using the product rule. And I said the product rule is when you have two events happening. You say probability of the first event times the probability of the second event, in this case A and B. You say probability of A times probability of B is equals to probability of A and B. So when you check the left hand side and the answer you got is not the same as probability of A and B that was given in the statement, then they are not what? Independent. But if it is equal, then you say the events are independent events. I hope you have understood that. Now let's go and check the next question, which was saying, are the events mutually exclusive event? Are the events mutually exclusive event? Now we have to check by motivating our answer. Mutually exclusive. When we say mutually exclusive event, we still use the data that was given to us. Mutually, are the events mutually exclusive event? They gave us probability of A according to the question. Our probability of A is equal to 0.25. Probability of B was equal to 0.5. And now we were also given probability of A and B to be equal to 0.15. And they are asking you, are the events A and B mutually exclusive? That's the question. Are the events A and B mutually exclusive? And I told you, if events are mutually exclusive, then we can have probability of A or B to be equal to probability of A plus probability of B. Since it is mutually exclusive, it means this side probability of A and B must always give you 0 if it is true. But now we will check based on the information and see. But now from this question you can see it is not mutually exclusive. The reason is why. Probability of A and B is 0,15. Probability of A and B is 0,15 from the data that was given. So one will not even need to waste time to work. Okay, you don't need to waste time to work. Here it is not 0, but rather it is 0,15. So one will say events A and B are not mutually exclusive. Reason is that probability of A and B is not equals to 0. Finish. So the answer to this, when they ask you are the events mutually exclusive, based on the data we have, probability of A and B was given as 0,15. So here you say no. The reason, probability of A and B is not equals to 0. So there will be 1 mark here and 1 mark for a no. So we take note of those type of questions, as it is part of our exam questions. So this is part of the grade 11 work, independent event and mutually exclusive event.